It's that time of the year again when the most exciting LEGO sets release. From June to August, there's hundreds of sets I want, but we're going to narrow it down to the 40 I want the most. Starting off the list is a new Jurassic World set. This Pteranodon baby dinosaur is the first time I actually wanted one of these cheaper buildable baby dinosaur Jurassic World sets. There's such a nice replication of a small Pteranodon with its shaping and overall posability that I appreciate. I like the design of this little squid as well. And at $30 for 373 pieces, it has a better price per piece ratio than even some LEGO Creator sets from this summer. Side note, this being $20 more than the Ferris wheel from 5 years ago, and yet it having almost 100 pieces less is very annoying. I love how by pressing this button, you can make the wings flap up and down. That's a lot of fun, and you can see how the head twists. You could have it in a standing up position and a flying position. The only reason this is so low is because I don't really care about the other baby dinosaurs. Even though I have those, the builds for those just never stood out. I'm so sorry, Bumpy. So I end up kind of wondering where I would put it, but it doesn't make a terrible desk topper. And next on my most wanted list is the buildable Stitch and Scrump. The reason why I want this is very simple. I need a Stitch to put with my buildable Angel. My love for Lilo and Stitch came more from the TV shows and direct-to-DVD movies than the original movie. And the Angel is straight up adorable. And while there was a buildable Stitch from 2 years ago, that one had this Hawaiian shirt design that was not removable. This is perfect because while there's a skirt here, you could easily remove that and you could just have the plain classic recognizable Stitch design. My only gripe is that this is $5 more than that 2024 one, even though it has 17 less pieces. But then again, we get Scrump as a bonus, which the Scrump build is just about perfect. And I really like that ukulele build. Continuing with the world that's Jurassic, well, we have this 4+ set, which is called the Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, and Pteranodon Rescue set. This is a ridiculous $50, but that's what you get from a 4+ set in 2026. Terrible prices with some really cool minifigures. And what we have here are 4 exclusive dinosaurs for their printing. I especially like the Stegosaurus, which is a complete recolor of the Miles Morales one from last year. And the 3 other dinos have cool new recolors and prints. We get our first accurate Kayla. It's kind of crazy how inaccurate the last version of this character was. This one looks exactly like the character in the movie. And there's a new Owen, which has a new Chris Pratt face printing. Look, that's going to be usable for characters like Star-Lord and our LEGO Mario minifigure. Unfortunately, the build here is extremely disposable. It looks like 40 other 4+ sets. If we're getting a Juniors playset, go really weird with it. Those are my favorite ones, those playsets, like the Incredibles house set. What was even going on there? This is probably what I'll wait for clearance, but there is a lot I want in this set. I just wish it wasn't held back by a $50 price tag in a terrible build. Can you believe this is our first LEGO set directly based off of Jurassic Park: The Lost World? I said directly. This is the young T-Rex transport truck. It's relegated to a simple 4+ set, which is frustrating, even if the car itself doesn't look super dumbed down. Like, sure, we have a 1-piece base over there, but the rest is fine enough. This buggy is whatever, but what I really like about the set is the exclusive T-Rex, which gives me vibes of the dinosaurs from the Spidey and His Amazing Friends 2025 sets. But even more so, I'm warped back to my childhood and I think of the Land Before Time dinos in their cartoony design. I love Julianne Moore, and this is the first time we're getting a minifigure based off of one of her characters. I just wish they gave her a new face print. This one doesn't really fit, and I've seen it on so many other minifigures. The exclusive Ian Malcolm is pretty cool too. I really wish this wasn't $30 though. This would have been totally fine at $20, and that small piece count shows, but welcome to the world of 4+. Admittedly, this is more of a morbid curiosity than anything, like, oh, it's the first Jurassic Park 2 set, oh, it's LEGO Julianne Moore, and it doesn't even feel like it lives up to those expectations, but it still stands out in my mind as something that would be worth a purchase. The Spinosaurus Dinosaur Escape is what, our first LEGO Jurassic Park 3 set since when the movie first came out. We're getting a brick-built Spinosaurus, which is in the style of the brick-built Mosasaurus from last year, but last year we got a specifically molded Spinosaurus. So it's kind of like the inverse is going on with these 2 dinosaurs between these 4 sets. With this being brick built, the price of this doesn't feel too ridiculous. I mean, I'm looking at it from a price per piece ratio perspective where it works, where this is 820 pieces for $75. Now the design of this and sizing though with everything included does feel like something that looks like a $50 set. I think something like the Mosasaurus worked a little bit better, where this looks a bit strange in the simplicity of this back part right here. I don't know, I don't love the design going on there, especially in these official pictures. I felt that more strongly this time than seeing those teaser images. It's kind of hard to get around because, you know, the thickness of the Lego brick is something that you can't really avoid, and it seems like that part is a bit too thick. It gives it a very blocky look, and then the face right here is pretty robotic if you ask me. I actually don't mind how they did the eye section right here, which is seemingly a print, but I have more problems with how they did the mouth right here. This bottom section of the mouth really doesn't work for me. Like, it needs more curvature on this bottom part. I wish the grays were blended better, and I don't know if I love this 1x4 piece for the bottom set of teeth. Regardless, I actually like the design of the feet and the legs, which I think have a nice curvature captured in this section that uses these specific pieces of those 2x2 slope pieces and those 2x2 corner circle pieces. The build they did for the tail is fine. I just wish they concealed and smoothed out those ball joint sections a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to do that and still keep articulation because it just looks kind of weird when you have these really narrow sections in between these thick sections right here. I like the articulation with the arms, and I wouldn't change anything there. It seems like there's even some more printing right here, which is nice. As for the actual gate setup, you know, we've seen Jurassic World sets with gates before, and this is another breakout gate where you could have the dino smash through the front, which are connected with like a one stud connection. It's really not an interesting build to me. I actually like the use of the shrieking pieces right here for like the barbed wire on the fence. And I find it very weird that there's just like a 2x4 tile that says LEGO Jurassic Park. Why is that there? I mean, it's something you could easily remove. I like that we get that print, but like, was that necessary? Like, this is already a playset built on its own. That's almost world breaking. Again, not a problem that's included because you could easily remove that, but it's just funny. I guess so that you could just display that on its own with the brick built dino. I don't know. And then on the side right here, I love that we get this dinosaur egg, which looks similar to the crocodile one we got, but it has a new print. I think the motorcycle in this color is the first time we're getting that. The minifigures include Alan, who apparently has a new face, even though this version doesn't seem too distinguishable. I mean, we've gotten so much of that character. I think the torso is new. And Billy, who definitely doesn't have a new face. I barely remember this character, to be honest. Even if I'm mixed on the dino, I'm glad it's distinct. I'm also glad that this is actually good value for the theme. And there's enough in here to really pique my interest. LEGO's strange aversion to making a Megatron set finally ends with a brickhead set of all things. Yeah, instead of giving us an icon set, they're starting out with a brickhead set. Sorry, Soundwave, you ain't getting a brickhead set, seemingly. And the design here does some funny things to make this a little bit more appropriate to LEGO standards. They don't want military vehicles, so here we have Megatron's quote vehicle. They can't call it tank for some reason, even though there's other themes that literally have tank in their title. And the design of the tank looks silly. It's so bad it's good, in my opinion. The Megatron brickheads is kind of what I would expect from a Megatron brickheads. I think I just prefer the colors of the Autobots, which of course we got Bumblebee and Optimus Prime as brickheads previously. Not that this is inaccurate or anything. I like the printed sloped piece right here, which you get two really interesting printed 2x4 sloped pieces in this set. And the $25 price makes it hard to pass up, even if this would have been $20 just a couple years back. Look, I love LEGO restaurants, and I especially love LEGO pizza sets. This one is so out there, it's quite charming. It's the pizza delivery experience for LEGO City, which will retail for $50 in the United States. That's not a terrible price for everything that's included. It's just the choice to make this an outdoor pizza hustle. This is definitely something that's made for kids in terms of maximizing play. And what we have here is actually some interesting play features with like putting the pizza inside the oven there, where it seems like it could even rise up a bit. But I like this whole pizza making setup where we have sauce, we have that cheese slope cheese piece from the Speedy Gonzales minifigure. There's a whole system to launch this delivery truck, which the delivery truck apes the design of the play feature from the Pizza Planet truck of 2010, one of my favorite sets of all time. where you can see this launches pizzas at the front, albeit using the newer 2x2 circular disc launcher piece. The rest of the vehicle, unfortunately, is that 6-wide race car design that I don't really like in LEGO City sets. I don't know, it's just not really a fun or interesting style to me. We also have this small build for a little eatery where you can see somebody just put a whole cabbage on their pizza. And inside there's even a little racing arcade machine. There's a pizza drone as well. I really wish that these were printed pizza boxes instead of stickers. I love the big build of the slice with cheese dripping down. I mean, at first I wasn't on board with this set, but then somebody said, you know what, this looks like a pizza setup that you'd find in a theme park. And now I'm like, crap, I'm going to add this to my Lava Land display. We'll get to that later. Well, I've kind of lost interest in the mainline Ninjago sets that are more on the play side. I've been loving the recent, more mature display sets. And this Battle at the Dragon's Blade set is an absolute beauty. The $100 price is perfect as well. The build of the Dragon Skull and Blade are absolutely beautiful, and I love how you could attach those minifigures and Mech and Dragon builds to those. LEGO has a policy against making large weapons, at least on LEGO Ideas, so this is kind of a rule breaker. But then again, we don't have the blade's tip, it's cut off by this skull build. The shaping and everything there makes for a gorgeous display piece. The Blade and the Dragon Skull feel very Legends, they feel mature. But then you look at the Mech and yeah, it is notably kiddie compared to other Legends sets. There's an interesting change up with this set in particular. This is a 9+ set and Ninjago Legends was pitched as, well, Ninjago for teens. This is the lowest of any of the age demographics for these Legends sets. I could give or take the dragon, it's fine, I guess. But I do love this minifigure here with Jin, who has a new hood piece and hip shoulder sword mold and arm printing, which is crazy. He's the only minifig in Legends to get arm printing. We don't know anything about his character yet, but he seems to be an elemental master of fire. Mira has a new mask and hair piece, which I love that design. That's super detailed. And also the sword hip holder piece, seemingly a master of water. Master Ivo has no new pieces. Seems to be like a Master Wu, but, you know, new prints there and almost gives me Exoforce vibes. And the Oni Warrior is a downgrade from the Oni Warrior in the Twin Titans mech set. There's no leg printing. There's also this new mask piece, like other Oni figs in this way, which I really like. But yeah, this will look great next to that beautiful anniversary set. The LEGO Icons road bike taps into my old joy of riding my bike. I absolutely love this perfect recreation of a road bike where they get all the angles and shaping done that when you first look at it, you can't even tell that this is LEGO. I mean, look at the wheels. The spokes are incredible. The roundness of the wheels themselves and the tire is mind-blowingly accurate. I love the whole function with the pedal and the chain actually working. I like how they build the bike stand and even a freaking water bottle, which is not necessary to be included, is done excellently with this incredible part usage of a gear piece, which fits perfectly for the top of the water bottle right there. The only thing weighing this back is that it's $130 for 1,015 pieces, and it shows. Everything about this just calls for it to be $100. And our first LEGO City set for the list is the drive-through car wash. This taps into my childhood of playing with those Hot Wheel car wash play sets. Oh my gosh, I want another one of those, but I could kind of relive that with this very set, where you can see you could push the car through the car wash. There's these brushes, you could put water on the very top. There's even like these fans to dry the car. And the exterior of this looks like a drive-through car wash. It doesn't seem dumbed down for LEGO City. I like how they include this brick guy, which gives us that brick suit in a new color. The only thing I don't really care for are those vehicles, because like I said, I just don't really like the city vehicles that are these 6-wide design that have appeared in plenty of sets. I don't know, they always come off blocky and they're not a scale that's cute like the 4-wide town vehicles or sleek like the larger scale Speed Champions vehicles. The $60 price, it seems a little bit expensive for how it looks, but if you count the price per piece ratio, that's pretty good at 583 pieces. And the next Jurassic World set on my list is the only one from this wave based off the latest movie. It's the Mosasaurus Boat Attack set, which gives us the first ever molded Mosasaurus for the modern Jurassic theme. The last time we got a specifically molded Mosasaurus was back in, what, 2000 with that dino theme. Yeah, the design of LEGO has changed so much since then. I think this looks good. I mean, this is like the best angle of it, to be honest. Like, I was looking at this picture, I'm like, oh, this looks chunky, but it's just kind of an illusion of our eyes by how this specific photo is shot. I love the sculpt and how intricate it gets. I mean, down to the teeth at the front there, which the jaw you could open and close. You got those big flipper-like fins right there. Even the tail has some independent articulation, which you could seemingly sway back and forth. That's connected with seemingly a Technic pin right there. All the sculpts on here are completely new, which I do appreciate. I figured the budget for that new dinosaur design is why this is a 700 3-piece set. That's $100. Gosh, does this look small for a $100 set, but I mean, LEGO sets are overpriced nowadays anyways. The rest of the set is fine. I mean, we got a Mosasaurus boat attack from Jurassic World Rebirth, which is exactly how you could describe this set last year. So this could be one of the shortest remakes for a set, but you do got to keep in mind that these are two different boats. This isn't the boat that we see for like, what, a third of the movie when they have like the Jaws knockoff. That was in the last set, even though that was really out of scale if you ask me. I'm not even sure when this boat appears in the movie. Somebody will have to point this out. Not even sure when this helicopter appears either. But hey, for a generic boat and helicopter, they're not bad designs. I do like the orange and dark red color scheme, which is a color coding I haven't seen in LEGO Jurassic World before, or even for a boat build like this. I like the helm they got going on there, though the deck in general is pretty small for space to fit minifigures. There's a crane system at the side, which they also include this little underwater drone, which is kind of fun. Of course, you could have the Mosasaurus bite that, and then you have the helicopter build, which the helicopter build is fine. You know, it seems like so many other ones. Only thing really differentiating it from other ones in this theme is the color scheme. Getting the Mahershala Ali character in a set that's $60 cheaper than the only way to get him last year is great. And they went hard on this minifigure. I love getting the beret in that dark green, which is going to be incredibly useful. It's the first time we're getting it in that color. But also, the torso's awesome with the Hawaiian shirt that has minifigures and bricks on there. That's really fun. And then these dual molded legs right here, which I love the pants color. And then you have leg printing with the little sandals at the very bottom. Really awesome minifigure and definitely the best of the set. But even the Scarlett Johansson character's minifigure works. See, this movie didn't stick with me because I don't remember the individual character names. But this is the first time we're getting this black hat with this color ponytail. So I love getting a new hair hat combo color. But once you get past that, the design of the torso we saw in sets last year, and then the design of Jonathan Bailey's character is seemingly the same that was found in sets like that big $160 set from last year. So yeah, overpriced, sure. I would expect that for a set that includes a chunky dino with a bunch of new pieces. I'm glad that we actually get a specifically molded Mosasaurus to compare with last year's brick-built Mosasaurus. So you have both options going on here. Personally, I don't know. I mean, I like the brick-built one and I like the molded one. They're two different styles, but both work to their own accords. There's a small LEGO Lord of the Rings set coming out for Grond. The big problem with this is that it's only available as a giveaway promo for the first week of Minas Tirith being released. It's ridiculous. This is something that should be sold on store shelves for $30 at most, because this makes a beautiful little $20 to $30 set. You have that iconic battering ram, which is captured in such a unique way, something we haven't gotten from LEGO before, and I love the little play feature to actually make this, well, batter. I love the shaping on the wolf head and how they build up that face especially. It does feel pretty undersized for what it is. Like, it doesn't feel like Grond. It feels like Grond. And honestly, I think this would have been a cool set for like $60, just making it like double the size. But I do like that we're getting smaller Lord of the Rings sets. But then it's like, okay, well, this isn't really a small Lord of the Rings set that you could just purchase, because like I said, it's a giveaway promo with such a limited window. They also throw in an exclusive minifigure. It's not one that feels like a loss if you don't get this set, but this green orc actually has an exclusive face print, which is good for variety if you're going to make a display of an army of orcs. I just wish, this being a perfect army building set, that once again this was available on store shelves. The other minifigure is actually from Baradar, which I keep butchering the name for that. I am so sorry, Lord of the Rings diehards. It's hard for me to pronounce, okay? Great set, but LEGO, you're being stingy with the release here. You can tell I'm somebody who's very vulnerable to nostalgia. This School with Rusty and Bluey set is winning me over for nostalgia, where this is a 4+ set, and in its very simple design, this reminds me of a LEGO Fabuland set. Heck, even like the very classroom Fabuland set, where we have this interior facade, which is loaded with adorable prints, this being a 4+ set, meaning it doesn't use stickers, and accessories to create fun little vignettes. This is based off of an interesting Bluey episode where they teach kids about premature birth, which is interesting. Like, this is supposed to be like the premature baby that they're kind of role-playing with in universe. We get Rusty, which is a completely new recolor for those existing Bluey headpiece, and also has some great torso and leg printing on the mid legs there. I just wish this wasn't $25, but I guess that's the 4+ tax. I mean, yeah, the 106 pieces really shows, but then again, it's not as overpriced as those 4+ Jurassic World sets, which feel like they're $10 overpriced. This feels like it's about $5 overpriced and should be $20. Honestly, this Spider-Man prison transport chase for Brand New Day should be lower on this list, but I'm so ball and chain with Marvel. It sucks. I have so much money invested in Marvel Cinematic Universe sets that I just have to get like every one that introduces new minifigures. And we have an amazing new minifigure here with Tombstone. The first time we're ever getting a LEGO Tombstone, and I absolutely love the printing on the face there and the base color they use for the face. So that's really cool. I mean, this set includes Tarantula and Spider-Man, which are found in the larger minifigure scale Brand New Day set. I mean, Spider-Man even comes in a 3rd set, which, okay, those are cool minifigures, but I was really hoping this wave would give us Punisher, and this seems like the perfect set to give us Punisher, but I guess LEGO doesn't want to touch on that character since he's involved in some R-rated stuff in the MCU. There is another exclusive figure, though, which is a Department of Damage Control driver for that torso piece. That's cool, I guess. But yeah, it would have been cool to get another named character that is new to this set, considering we only got 2 minifigure scale sets. What I do like about the truck is that this is a vehicle with like back sitting room inside. I like those vehicles that have different compartments to them and things like that. The middle hatch is kind of cool for like a cockpit design. What I don't like about the vehicle though is just the overall look of this, where it gives me vibes of that one Black Widow set, or even worse, that one Hydra tank set from 2014. I don't know, it just looks really strange as a truck vehicle. It looks very dumbed down for children. Maybe I'm being a bit too hard on this set, but what I think we could all agree with is this should not be $50. The sizing of this looks like a $30 set at most, and somehow at 367 pieces, they bumped this up to $50, which is a highway robbery. It's crazy that we're finally getting a LEGO Peanuts set, which this is Snoopy's doghouse. I mean, Snoopy sells like crazy, so maybe I shouldn't be as surprised. This is $90, which the original Ideas design definitely called for like a $40 set, and I would love if Ideas went back to giving us cheap sets. However, for $90, I think this is worth it for the sizing and everything included. You get this huge Snoopy doghouse, which also folds out to become a night scene, which was the original pitch of this little campfire setup. I'm not completely sold on this Snoopy build, but I love a lot of the build here. I guess it's just these little gaps at the front that kind of throw me off, which are kind of inevitable if you're using these specific pieces. I love the Woodstock build though. That's excellent. The use of this piece right here and even that front bulb piece, it's incredible. I absolutely love the typewriter line that they have there, which is iconic to the comics. And while it feels like buildable figures are plaguing every license, somehow this one's one of the better looking ones. I didn't know too much about Ken Block before this LEGO set was revealed, but reading his legacy, he really did a lot for rally car racing in the United States and car videos on YouTube. This is almost a YouTube legend set, and the design here has an excellent minifigure for Ken Block, which you can see has an awesome printed hat and new face print, and then a completely different face print that's awesome, and a new helmet design. Like, this is the one they used for Bad Cop, but having it in a full black, it hasn't appeared in any other set. Now, the vehicle itself is really cool as well, where I like the decals on here. Sure, I wish they were prints, but the Hoonigan branding just looks really cool if you ask me. I love the X'd out little headlights right there, and this sleek black design with the gold trim. It does give me vibes of some LEGO Dodge Chargers, even though it's a Ford Mustang. Sorry, I'm not a car person. Hopefully that's not sacrilegious to say. At $30, they have bumped up the price of these Speed Champion single car sets, but this is still a fantastic deal for its elaborate accuracy, and if you're a price per piece ratio person, that's 345 pieces for $30. The Ancient Moon Gazing Inn is one of the most unique LEGO sets of summer 2026, and one of the best deals. $130 for 1,530 pieces. The design here is right up my alley. I absolutely love hotels, and this is basically a motel or an outdoor hotel. The design here has these outward facing rooms on the top floor, which have these small and cramped interiors which don't feel unrealistic. I also like the stuff that they put on the wall. There's even a little eatery section and what seems to be like a kitchen or a market. This also has a real person in it. Sudong Po, who was a famous poet from the Song Dynasty era. Yeah, this is set way before I was born, and in a country far, far away. I absolutely love the hairpiece that they use here, which from my understanding is new to the set, as is the face, torso, and legs. And there seems to be some other cool torsos, which I'm not entirely sure are new. I love the two dresses here. Yeah, for $150 and everything, this is fantastic. The only reason it's kind of lower on my list is because I don't really have a place for this. You'll see there's more cool sets that I'm just like, oh, how am I going to display this? I only have such limited space nowadays. And there's still some open wounds from a certain breakup with a certain LEGO set. We have our biggest LEGO Lord of the Rings set yet at Minas Tirith, and this is a $650 set with 8,278 pieces, and gosh does it show. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's absolutely beautiful how this blends different perspectives to capture the iconic city of Gondor, while still managing to be minifigure scale at no expense of its accuracy. Like, I love the forced perspective we have going on the higher you go up on this build. And you have designs with the front city gates. Those front gates have some nice defense towers and even some little markets at the side as well. The interior, while still a facade base, has that scene of the throne room, which feels very substantive. And the design uses some great part usage. Like, I absolutely love how they use the Hylian shield up top here. Or how these statues uses that new hair crown combo that Aragorn uses in this set, which it's sick to get that in two different color combinations. The towers up top have two extra rooms as well. The court of the fountain at the very top is depicted beautifully, even if the color scheme seems a little bit off there. The minifigure selection is phenomenal. I mean, I already said the Aragorn minifigure looks fantastic with that new hair hat combo, but I also love that this is the first Lord of the Rings figure to have arm printing, and you get another minifigure with arm printing with the beautiful Arwen. I absolutely love the dress she has going on there and the detailing. Finally getting a new face for that character. There's our first Faramir minifigure. Loving the new hair color for that hairpiece on him. Denethor, which I love the use of those cherry pieces for the cherry tomatoes. As I said in the reveal video, that new face print is perfect for Mike from Red Letter Media. It's also great to get Gandalf the White for the first time since 2013. So I do kind of miss the old hair beard combo that the original version used. An excellent new Pippin, which gives us another new face print. Like, it's insane this character already has 3 of those. And 4 soldiers of Gondor, which I love the armor they have going on there. That new helmet piece rules. Is a little bit of a shame that their shield is a bit off, but that almost feels nitpicky. I think this is actually worth $650. So many times we'd see a really expensive set that isn't worth the price, but this has enough inside there and a fantastic piece count and a fantastic size that, yeah, it's pricey, but it doesn't feel like a ripoff. The only reason my want for this set is not as much as it deserves is because I really don't have room for this. I have no clue where I'm going to put this once I build it. The Fast and Furious Toyota Supra MK4 is the only Speed Champions movie set we're getting this summer, and this has a very stark orange lime green accented car that I think came out great. I mean, I absolutely love these $30 Speed Champions vehicles, even though I wish they were a little bit less heavy on stickers and more reliant on prints. You can see on the side we actually do get 2 really nice prints with this strange hand person design. It matches the design from the movie, which I saw some people complaining about that it wasn't Lego-fied, but I guess I'm just used to that with the Speed Champions Fast and Furious cars, like on this beauty over here. I love how they did the windscreen at the front, which is also a new print. And this looks great from the back as well. I think this is a great deal for $30, as I said before, with the Ken Block set. And you even get a really awesome minifigure with a new face print and torso print for this variant of Brian. We previously got him in this set, which is also a great set, but you can see the two are pretty dang different. I'm actually getting vibes of the original Star-Lord face print, funny enough. I love LEGO passenger planes, and we get a small passenger jet, which is a 4+ set to be fair, for LEGO City in summer 2026, which has a $30 price tag. This does not look like a junior set. This doesn't seem like it's compromised. Well, okay, aside from the fact that the windows don't have panels in them, which is extremely dangerous for the passengers, like what the heck, LEGO? Beyond that though, this is just a beautiful looking, small, almost private jet-esque design, and I'm glad that it's only $30. Like, that honestly doesn't feel overpriced, even if it has a low piece count at 118 pieces. This uses large pieces for the build of the plane, so I totally get it. I like the exclusive print on the tail, I like how roomy the interior is, surprisingly. And unfortunately, 4 minifigures for $30 is a great amount in 2026. You know, back in 2013, that would be undersized. Nowadays, that's like more than most $30 sets with minifigures. This set has the first time we're getting just a generic LEGO City face print representing vitiligo, which I think is really cool for representation. I saw this tweet and it made me smile. I was like, yeah, I'm glad LEGO included that in this set. As a Sonic fan, LEGO's choices with the Sonic theme they have going on is really perplexing for me. There's so much content you can mine from the games, and yet they resort to making up completely random mechs for the very limited amount of sets we get per year. This one's Shadow's mech versus Gun Trooper, but unlike the Knuckles mech, I gotta admit, this kind of looks really cool. Okay, hold up. We saw the original version of this because LEGO accidentally posted it on the official website. That one had knee joints, and yes, I missed the knee joints. This could have been more posable. But other than that, I like the final version's design. This has a really interesting color scheme. I like the spikes at the back. The gold lining, mostly captured with the 1x1 tile launchers, oddly works. The Shadow minifigure is especially cool, where you have an exclusive face print for that expression. But this is Shadow using his Doom powers, which is actually from a game, Sonic X Shadow Generations. I really like the coloring of this piece right here, which was previously used for stuff like Gambit's card holders of all things. But here it's wings and they look pretty dang cool if you ask me. I believe that's the first time we're getting these pieces in that color. Now there's also a Gun Trooper, which, okay, looks accurate to the game, but just isn't one of the most interesting villains out there. The one thing really weighing this back though, beyond the knee joints, beyond this being something that's not really from the games for the most part, is that this is $50 for 374 pieces. That's a highway robbery LEGO. Like, why are you charging so much for this? This should have been a $40 set at most. The LEGO Loki vs Team Iron Man set is the first on the list for a new Marvel show, which is Iron Man and his awesome friends, which is basically Spidey and his amazing friends, but with Iron Man at the lead. The design here has some really awesome minifigures that are exclusive to this set so far. I absolutely love the design for Iron Hulk, which has this really funny front part to a new helmet design. But also, Ironheart and Iron Man get a new helmet, though Iron Man's in a separate set that I like a little bit more that we'll get to in a bit. But the cartoony designs of these characters gives me vibes of something from the comic books instead of something that looks like it's for toddlers. Iron Man is a cool minifigure, but I think I like Ironheart even more. I just love that color scheme, and I like how both have a gold shine for their front visor. Well, okay, do note, this isn't a visor that like lifts up like other Iron Man figures. It's just one helmet piece, but it still works. It reminds me of the Invincible Iron Man helmet piece. Loki is a funny remake where we have this interesting face print that gives me some Mighty Micro vibes, oddly enough, but I do like the gold torso they have going on there. Then we have this Hulkbuster for Iron Hulk. Well, okay, it's a mech for him, but dang it, it looks like a green Hulkbuster. Honestly, it looks a bit like the Hydra Stomper. The design of the Iron Man plane doesn't look as kitty as, say, the design of the one from this 4+ set. Not that it still doesn't feel juniorized, but I really like this front cockpit design right here for a windscreen. This is a nice print as well. But okay, yeah, the Ironheart car is definitely for kids. That's way too simple and cartoony, but I get it. This is a 4+ set. And I also like this little suit holder right here, which is going to be funny to see people integrate that into a hull of armor. That's a really nice front windscreen print. While I think this is a better deal than that one Jurassic World $50 set that's 4+ this wave, it's still very steep at $50, and I wish it was like $40 at most. The LEGO City Mountain Bike Adventure Van almost is a recolor of one of my favorite LEGO City sets, the 2009 Camper Van. I mean, just look at the shaping of these two. I think the color scheme they went with looks excellent, and this is a vehicle we really don't see from LEGO City. It's cool how they have that rack at the back for the mountain bikes. I wish we had a more direct view of the interior of any of the pictures they released, but it does seem to be spacious. And this is actually one of the best priced LEGO City sets of this wave. I mean, it's $20 for 260 pieces. That's exactly how this size vehicle should be, like the camper van back in the day. I mean, if you adjust it for inflation with that original camper van being $20, this is an even better deal than that. It's an easy purchase that's genuinely a good set that's also built on nostalgia, admittedly. And that smaller Iron Man and his awesome friends set is an easy buy for me as well. This should be $20, judging by the size and content. Yeah, if your price per piece ratio, it's a 4+ set, so 96 pieces isn't the best out there, but I get it. I think this is just an adorable, very comic book looking Hulkbuster that they have going on. I love those round angles and the color scheme. And then you have this Ultron vehicle that's a literal Ultron head. The shaping there is hilarious to me. But this is the only set so far to give us this new Ultron design for this TV show, and I really like the shaping of that helmet. Again, these do look a bit kiddie in their minifigure designs, but they give me more comic book vibes than anything. Like I said before, you also get that Iron Man from the biggest set, which I think is a cool variant of the character. It's cute as heck, and the price won't destroy my wallet. Speaking of adorable, look, I'm the first one to call out when LEGO just resorts to licensed statues for licensed sets that deserve more minifigure sets. I'm a minifigure person, but dang it, the first Animal Crossing buildable figure set is too cute for me to hate on. The design of Timmy and Tommy are just captured perfectly if you ask me. The shaping and everything surprisingly translates well despite a lower piece count than more expensive licensed statues. And I love this bridge setup they have going on with iconic parts that you would see in an Animal Crossing village. A floating present build, a larger print for the 2x2 hole that you can dig, and a 2x2 for the fossil design. A fishing spot which can swish around. It's the perfect little mural to put in a Nintendo display, which I display way too many things from Nintendo. The price isn't the greatest thing out there. Like, this looks like a $50 set. The piece count looks like a $50 set, but this is $60. I'm not too peeved about it. The other LEGO Animal Crossing sets are overpriced and honestly weren't really great. I love minifigure stuff, but these seemed way too small for what you were paying and really made me wish that we just got more elaborate buildings from Animal Crossing. Hopefully we'll get another stab at LEGO minifigure Animal Crossing sets with a little bit aged up buildings that didn't feel too simplified, but for now I'm satisfied with what we got here. Though admittedly, part of me is annoyed that we don't have these characters as minifigures yet. Like, you could have maybe thrown those in like a side small build of this exact same scene, but whatever. Wait a minute, we're getting two adorable video game sculpture builds back to back. This one is LEGO Fortnite KIT. $110 for 1,230 pieces, which is a good price per piece ratio for sure. And yeah, I'd say the size of this looks like a $100 set, so $10 more isn't too big of a deal. I absolutely love how they have that KIT mech going on. That rugged feel and scrappy design is captured excellently if you ask me, even to the point of having this part remove on its own, and you could even take off the arms on that part, which I like the versatility there. The build for the KIT cat is adorable. You also get a minifigure version of the character, which uses a completely new interesting headpiece right here, which I think that's attached to the armor. I really want to see how that piece works in person. See, that's why it burns that this set doesn't include these characters in minifigure form. Though speaking of including characters, I do find it funny that they couldn't include a KIT code, instead give Kate Meow Day, because this character was Battle Pass locked. But hey, free skin with this, which adds a little bit to the value as well. Look, many of the recent LEGO City trains that are ridiculously expensive have been entries on my most wanted sets list. I'm so happy that we're getting a LEGO City train that isn't $100 or anything more than that. This is the LEGO City Vintage Steam Train. I saw complaints about how small this set was, but that's kind of why I love it. Thank you, LEGO, for giving me something that won't destroy my wallet, that I could actually fit and display on my shelf when it comes to LEGO trains. The design here of a vintage steam train looks really cute in its size and simple design. It doesn't feel like it's too simple, say a 4+ set. I'm no train expert, but I love the look of this locomotive, which is very simple, it has a great color scheme. The tender and passenger car are both cute, simple, and effective. Price per piece ratio, people are not going to be super happy. I mean, it's 575 pieces for $90, but look, it does include these train tracks, which definitely bumped up the price. The platform included is nothing too distinct, but it's still a cute addition. Please, LEGO, give us more smaller trains like this. While I didn't think it would be my cup of tea, I kind of love the Dinosaur Fossils T-Rex set from last year, so the sequel this year for Triceratops fossil is pretty awesome as an addition. I like that this is cheaper than the T-Rex one, but it is interesting that this is much smaller. Like, yeah, I know the size differences between these two dinos, but this is disproportionately smaller. I don't know if I care too much, honestly. I think this will still look great next to the T-Rex fossil design. I love the shaping of everything here, just like I liked it with the T-Rex, how they capture those bones and the angles and everything. And what I find extremely interesting, and even better than the last set, this set actually comes with an exclusive character from the first Jurassic Park movie. That like never happens in the world of LEGO Jurassic Park. We usually get variants of the iconic characters. Last time that happened was this kind of crappy 4+ set where you got the clever girl guy. This one has Dr. Harding, which is kind of funny because his daughter is also introduced in this wave of Jurassic World. LEGO cooked with this minifigure. I love the Jurassic Park logo on the hat right there, which will be usable for sig figs all around. The arm printing on the dual molded arms, which are already a pretty hard to find color, are very welcome. You got an exclusive torso and even exclusive leg printing from my understanding. A really fun exclusive face print. So yeah, great price, great minifigure, great build. This is a win for me, and I'm going to display it right next to that T-Rex. Oh, and I feel like I didn't call out the actual price. It's $110 if you're wondering. Screw it, I'm putting a book exclusive minifigure on this list because the book releases August 18th, 2026. It's the Batman Adventures in Gotham City book Joker Batman minifigure. This minifigure goes so hard. I absolutely love how they went out of their way to include a new and exclusive color cowl with that green design, which is something they never really do for book promos, you know, completely new colors for molded existing pieces. And the design for the torso on his front and on the back looks great as well. And those are the two exclusive pieces. Well, 3 if you count this color cape, which is nice. The face print is actually one that we've gotten with recent Jokers. Thanks to my boy Duckbricks for the pictures, who purchased this early, like this isn't even a leak. In a world that's so limited on new LEGO Batman sets, this is a minifigure that really stands out. The only downside is he's locked to a book that's $17 on Amazon that I have no interest in reading. You know what that means? Time to fork over $10 on eBay to get this once it comes out. The first of the LEGO One Piece sets to make my list is the Showdown with Captain Smoker. Keep in mind, I only saw a couple episodes of season 1 before I figured that this show wasn't for me, but this theme is so good. Most of the sets top my list, which we'll get to in a bit. With this set, it has a really fun build and also some crazy minifigures. There's such atypical building choices, a katana store, and a recruitment center. I don't think we'll ever see this in another LEGO theme, especially the recruitment center. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a join the Navy thing in my LEGO city now. Unfortunately, the interior of the recruitment center is pretty shallow, and while the katana store doesn't have much more depth, I do like that it has a little bit more substance to it. I wish this part wasn't stickered though, and that this was just actual materials on like a store shelf. There's a little explosion feature with the window walls, and the design of this vehicle right here looks pretty cool. The best part of this set though are the minifigures. We have Captain Smoker, which in the 4Kids dub is called Captain Chaser.
Captain Chaser!
It's hilarious that even though he is Captain Smoker, he's censored to remove all of his cigars. I love getting this hairpiece for the first time in white. The face print is cool, and this arm attachment is really weird and an exclusive piece to this set. I also like this dragon person, which the design has that hood piece in a new color that's exclusive to this set, and a pretty cool looking face print. And you even get an exclusive Sanji found in this set for the outfit, which is just a nice casual outfit. The worst part about this set though is that somehow LEGO bumped up the price from $60, which was already ridiculous in its reveal, to $70, which is almost a highway robbery. Come on, maybe I should have put this lower for that price bump, but I do love all the contents in this set. This doesn't feel like a set that's sized more than $50, something ideally that looks like it should be $40. If you look at the price per piece ratio at 547 pieces, yeah, that $70 price is not helping. And the smaller of the two LEGO Sonic Summer 2026 sets is one that I like better. It's the Tornado 1. The design here is such a different take on the Tornado compared to the one that we got back in 2023. I love how this can transform to a different style, where you can see the design looks a bit closer to the original Tornado, but even then it's still very distinct in its sharp wings, which have a nice color scheme to them. But yeah, I'll probably keep it displayed in that cool X-Wing design. And you get an exclusive Tails minifigure, which I quite like, getting new expressions for these characters that I adore. Then you have this build for an exclusive villain called the Egg Chaser. If you know, you know. That's a hilarious name. If I had a nickel for every time we had a villain called Chaser in summer 2026 from LEGO, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's pretty weird that it's happened twice. I also like how articulated the arms seem to be, which they actually do a pretty good job replicating that character from the game. This little platform right here is a nice addition, but nothing too necessary. I'm glad that this is something from the video games. This ship is from Sonic Unleashed, which they don't include the Werehog in here, and that would have been such an awesome addition. Like, for once I would have been like, okay, you could bump up the price to like $40 or $50 if you dropped in a LEGO Sonic Werehog minifigure. Or it would have been cool to just get a new hero character. Like, I still want Big the Cat, and it's sad that this summer wave gave us no new hero characters. But hey, as it stands, it's something that's actually from the games, it's something that looks distinct, and it has a good price per piece ratio unlike many other LEGO Sonic sets. $30 for 310 pieces, that's exactly how this set should be. The LEGO Fortnite supply drop is a really nice recreation of something that's key to the game it's based off of, while also adding a lot of flair and personality. Like, I love this smoke rising from the ground here and how that part is built up, but the build for the supply drop itself has some nice detailing on the crate where it doesn't look as simple as it could have been, is really my point here. I also love the use of those hot air balloon pieces at the very top, which is nice to get for the first time in yellow from my understanding. The little chute to access some supplies is just a fun small play feature. This is also a great minifigure pack where we get Fish Stick for the first time. Such a popular skin that you would think would come in a set earlier than this, but I absolutely love the sculpt on their head and the design of their dual molded legs, which have printing. Leviathan is a great minifigure translation. I love the color they use for the base headpiece there. And Ginger Gunner is a really detailed figure where I love how they have the printing and coloring over a flesh tone that many other licensed minifigures have. There's just a lot of color going on there, which I appreciate. My only problem with the minifigures is when you look at their in-game variants, they're so much more detailed for side leg and arm printing. Like I said, these are still detailed minifigures. It's just like, dang, I wish they were this level of detailed. This set doesn't have a great price per piece ratio at $45 for 314 pieces, but honestly the size does look like a $40 set. So it's not the perfect price for me, but I don't think the price is bad at all. And my most wanted LEGO Fortnite set for this season is the Rave Cave. This is a giant roller coaster slash, well, rave cave, and the design of the roller coaster is an original track design, unlike a certain other set that we'll be talking about soon. I love how thrilling that seems to be, where it does have a pretty big dip, and the design of that ends up in this interior location of the Rave Cave, which you can see has a removable dance floor and DJ setup. All of that is really fun. I do love the sculpting of the big Cuddle Team leader head, though admittedly from the side this does look like it's losing a lot of depth. I wish that was a bit more of a chunky and substantial build, but it's all very cute from the front. And then all the minifigures are really cool additions, except the fact that we're getting Cuddle Team leader again. I mean, I love that skin, don't get me wrong, and it makes sense to get that in this set. But with only 6 minifigures for $230, you would think that they would just add more minifigures inside here. I mean, you could just load this with more skins, and they could be slight variants where, okay, we get Cuddle Team Leader, but we could get Panda Team Leader for the first time, which is another skin I love. Or finally, please give me DJ Bop, which is my main skin. Regardless, getting DJ Yonder has this excellent new headpiece, which I absolutely adore. I also love the hair hat combo that's new for this set for Aura. Funk Ops is a sweet looking minifigure. Eevee is pretty cool too. And I love the color scheme for Party Trooper. Oh yeah, there's a skeleton as well, so I guess technically there's 7 minifigures, but you know, we've seen that design in even other LEGO Fortnite sets. Makes sense in game. This is also a set that's pretty heavy on stickers. I wish a lot of these were printed. You could even see some discoloration where the sticker color is different from the piece color that they're on, even though they're supposed to blend together. And everything about this set screams $200 to me, but it's $230. They're definitely upcharging this quite a bit. I mean, if you're a price per piece ratio person, it has 1,963 pieces. 2 other builds I love is the Baller build. I miss those in game. And the Lana Llama vending machine. Regardless, maybe it's the LEGO coaster lover inside me, but I just think this is a really interesting and fun display piece at no expense of it being a fun play piece. I love LEGO castles, and within the LEGO castle theme, which we really don't get too much of beyond very expensive sets nowadays, there was this type of format for a castle that we saw done again and again and again with variations, and I love those sets, don't get me wrong. But because of that, I'm always surprised when I see a different type of castle, usually from LEGO licensed themes. Like I think of the Angry Birds castle, which is so cartoony and crazy and unlike any other LEGO castle. And we're getting that this summer with the Battle at Drum Castle LEGO One Piece set. Covered in snow, the architecture of this exterior is something I can't pinpoint to any other LEGO castle. I love the mix of things like some studs not on top techniques, the design using these cylinders right here, or these 1x2s that have that round greebling to them. Each floor of the interior is covered with some fun builds for different objects, though like the previous One Piece set, it does feel a bit shallow, and that's kind of a problem with this set in general. I do wish this was a bigger castle. You look at the design from the show and it feels like there could have been potential in making this larger. And then you look at the price where they bumped this up $10 since the reveal, so now it's $110. And yeah, while that doesn't have the worst price per piece ratio out there, where it has a total of 1,038 pieces, it feels very undersized, almost like it's an $80 set. However, the minifigure selection is one of the best of summer 2026. Every minifigure in here is exclusive, whether it be an exclusive variant or just straight up exclusive characters. My favorite is Wapol, who has this really awesome new hair hat combo. There's like a hippo hat going on here that is sculpted so well. Then you have that funky hair at the back. Is this piece like a separate piece, like a neck attachment? I don't even know. I love what's going on there. The cape is elaborate and new as well. I'm sure the face print is new torso and leg printing. And then there's Vivi, the design of which has an awesome recolor of that ponytail piece that we haven't gotten before. Perfect for scene girls. Love the face print, which it's great to get just a generic face print in that skin tone that we don't get too often. Nami has an exclusive variant, which I love purple, so I love this outfit. Sanji looks great, where that torso print is awesome, but we even have new arm printing. Chopper comes in this set and then a smaller set, which we'll get to later. And this set has 2 distinct face prints from the 2 face prints in that other set. I'm glad LEGO's giving us so many expressions for this character. I love this new type of baby figure where they could actually hold on to accessories. And Luffy has a pretty eclectic looking outfit that's exclusive to this set as well. So yeah, the build definitely has some size issues. The price isn't great. Those minifigures elevate this, and it easily makes my top 10. This year, Main Street USA might be the biggest botch from LEGO. What we have is an idea that could have topped this list, a detailed Main Street USA. What we got is a $400 set that feels way too overpriced, with buildings that feel under-detailed and smaller than you'd expect from this build. When I heard the initial leaks of this, I was hoping for something that was Diagon Alley size. Released in 2020, that was also $400, but it had excessively detailed buildings that felt way beyond worth the price. A high price point, sure, but something that's of value. As I've said with plenty of sets on this list, this is highway robbery. I mean, the sizing and everything here, and even the piece count, reminds me of something that would be $300 at most. It's hard to tell the Disneyland Emporium is trying to represent that building with how undersized this thing looks. The fire department looks like something sized to the Winter Village line, and is especially pathetic when you put it next to the other Disney park set of the train station. That is the size building I wanted for these. But look, this is still relatively high on the list because I think there's things I love in here. I actually really do like the size of the Crystal Arcade and how they do that exterior. The interiors of here is Merchland. I mean, that's kind of what Disney Parks has become when it comes to outside of the rides. And it's pretty honest just loading these interiors with various Disney merch. This fulfills my wish for years to have LEGO Woody and Buzz accessory scale figures. Okay, they're not out of the box, but they're 1x2 stickered tiles, which I think are adorable. Yes, I'd prefer if this just used prints in general, and there's some really annoying parts of discoloration with the stickers in this set. The only interior that isn't Merchland is the fire department, which, like in real life, replicates Walt's apartment, and I love the 50s interior going on there. I also adore the build of the popcorn cart. Like, that seems like a much better size to what I would expect IRL, and I like the little popping feature there. I also love the simple, tiny Wally build, this sticker of the original Star Wars poster, and the mini builds of various Disney rides. The fire engine is fine too. I also think the minifigures in this set are excellent. The design of these casual torsos that just have Disney characters on them, again, is consumerist slop, sure, but I love having realistic Lego City designs and things like that, and these are the perfect torsos to just stick on characters in the mall or wherever. People in real life wear branded shirts. Yeah, I'm partial to the alien one because I like my Lego Toy Story representation, but I really like that we got like a more obscure character with Rave from Princess and the Frog on one. And then there's completely new pieces they introduced in this set that rule. For the first time, we're getting the Mickey Mouse ears hat, which is so iconic to popular culture, and I love the piece that they introduced there. The Dapper Dan hat is a piece that could be used across so many different themes. I love how that looks, but it is inaccurate to the Dapper Dans where I wish they had the colored stripe. However, I do like their torso prints and how they have the different color coding. Again, just lovely torso prints across this set. And there's even an incredibly beautiful dual molded mini bow piece, which you get in various colors. The sculpt on there is excellent. And finally, there's this top half of a Mickey Mouse balloon, which has another nice sculpt to it. There's no reality where this is worth $400, and I do think LEGO dropped the ball with these building designs. But again, there's a lot I love that plays up to my nostalgia. I mean, I guess that's Disney for you in 2026. Like, yeah, Minas Tirith is a better set, but I like bright colors, cartoons, and minifigures that could fit in a city setting. I think the LEGO City Classic Beach Tram set is beautiful. The Tram build itself has a gorgeous color scheme. Like, I love the blue they have going on there. I love the little advertisements on both sides. And how they build that up with the windows at the front and the round shaping and everything really stands out to me. The design for the rest of this beach setup is also something we don't see too much from LEGO City. Like, we don't get too many sets of an actual beach build. I like the little pier they have going on here. And this ice cream vendor looks just like this Lego Town set that I absolutely love from back in the day. There's also some great minifigures here. Like, for some reason, they just throw in a new color for this hat piece, which I originally thought was Sun Spider's same hat color, but no, it is slightly different. And also, this is the first time we're getting this hair piece in black, which is really neat. It's also great to see this hair piece in orange once again, which isn't too common. And I love seeing the Paradisa torso from the minifigure prize machine Lego Idea set. I also love that we get the new pug piece, which appears in one other set I didn't plan on getting. And even better, we get this exclusive seal piece, which the sculpt looks amazing. The ice cream vendor build reminds me of one of my favorite Lego Town sets. The $75 price isn't perfect. Like, I look at this and I think it's like $60, but if you're a price per piece ratio person, that is 693 pieces for $75, which is not bad at all. I'm glad LEGO City is pushing out some beautiful and unique sets for this summer. The LEGO Spider-Man Brand New Day Hulk Epic Clash set is one of the most bland Marvel buildings we've ever gotten, but it's kind of the point of the set. Like, this is a run-down building of a Department of Damage Control office. Or at least that's what I assume by the stickers, since the movie isn't out. You could see how there's all this construction material on the middle floor, and there's this play feature to actually wreck the front as if Hulk is bursting through, which that's a lot of fun to play around with. Yeah, this is a set that I actually have and built. It was sent to me early by LEGO, so #gifted. But my honest take is that this should not be $90. LEGO is being such a scam in that regard. Like, $50 at most is the price of this. Okay, we have Hulk, $60, I'll take it. But this most wanted list is how I wanted the sets before I got any of them. But everything I was looking forward to beyond the build still holds up to my expectations. I love the minifigures, where it seems like so many recent Marvel releases lack leg printing. And I love that these three minifigures have detailed legs. I mean, heck, Spider-Man does too with the dual molding, and I guess you could say Hulk. It's great to finally get Hulk in brown pants. Hot Dog Person, who's generic, is just a funny addition, though some people are saying it's Haley from the PS4 games, which, I mean, the minifigure does have a hearing aid as well. But yeah, this is the only set to have Boomerang as well as that MCU Scorpion. Shout out to Nacho. I also do like the minifigure for Tarantula. It's just that they also come in that set that we already covered, though I think this is a much better set. The design of the hot dog cart is amazing. And then there's this little park side section, which took me by surprise. Like, LEGO went unnecessarily hard with the builds here. The tree uses the seaweed piece in brown for the first time ever, which is incredibly useful for mock builders, but it's such a great base for a tree that looks realistic to the setting. And the park bench build is simple and very effective. I also love that we get 2 pigeons. Again, I can't excuse the price, and while I get what the building was going for, I do wish they put something more interesting, especially for that price as the main build. But there's so much to love about this set. I'm not disappointed, nor am I in love with it. It's a 6 out of 10. It's above average. You may think Main Street's the set that I want the most for its minifigures, but there's one set that has it beat. It's the Giants of Little Garden set from One Piece. This has some of the craziest minifigures I've seen LEGO put out in recent years. There's a chopper-like minifigure for Mr. 13, who's like a little otter design. I absolutely love what's also this helmet piece that's completely new, giving me Polka Dot Man vibes there. The design of this person, who's Mr. 3, has some of the craziest hair I've seen LEGO put out. The snake at the very top. I mean, I guess it's not the first snake hair that they've done. The face print, cheekbones and all is surprisingly really expressive, and I like the torso print. Then there's Miss Golden Week, a design where I absolutely adore that hair hat combo that's exclusive to this set with the pigtails and that very brimmed cap. We have a torso print which is giving me Toy Story Cloud vibes, and I believe that's the first time we're getting this short skirt in this red coloring. Miss Friday is a vulture-like design that has some clever part usages, like I could tell this is that flower piece. I love the yellow fork legs. This is one of those quarter dome pieces for the beak there, and of course we've seen that hat goggles combo from many other minifigures. They're just looking at pictures from the show. I guess this is off color. And throw in an exclusive Usopp, who the design has some really cool leg printing of all things. And Zoro, who has an awesome casual torso print that's exclusive. I love the minifigures here. The thing is, most of the set are these giant builds, which could be amazing if they went the style of, say, this Harry Potter set, this LEGO superhero set, or this LEGO superhero set. But they have this weird mix of giant minifig and almost playmate-like design that I don't think works. Like talons, like the claws I want are just the minifigure ones. The head's not trying to get the sculpt of a minifigure beyond being cylindrical, but like giving them ears, and the facial expressions even not looking like minifigure face prints. I don't know if I like those. They're very strange builds, which I always like weird LEGO things, but yeah, I just wish they would have went the giant minifigure route that I'd expect from these sets, which it seems like LEGO is just allergic to nowadays. You can only get that if it's an upscale minifigure that's like $70 or whatever, but when we get Giant Man nowadays, it's a construction figure, which is just really boring and doesn't really translate too well. The $80 price is pretty steep for my curiosity, but dang it, weird cartoony minifigures goes a long way for me. You know, I like my cursed characters, and I think that's going to make me buy this at full price. Retro gaming is a hobby I keep coming back to throughout my life, and the Sega Genesis was my first console ever. Sonic 2 was the first video game I remember playing. So to see LEGO bring that into brick form is really surprising, because it seems like the Sonic theme doesn't get too much attention. When I heard the leak that this was going to be $40, I was really worried, but honestly with its 479 pieces, I think they did a good job for this size. It's easy to compare this to the 2020 NES set, which was $270, or the Atari 2600 set, which was $240. I like that this one is ridiculously cheaper than those. It's good to have affordable sets. Then again, that high piece count and price was really for the TV of the NES. The NES console itself was pretty dang small. So this is actually to scale with the NES, I think. They're both downsized in a way. And the outcome, well, it's interesting. I don't think it's terrible. It actually came out better than I expected, but there are some parts I don't like. Okay, so what we have here is a build for the original model of the Sega Genesis. And just like that Sega Genesis controller promo, you can swap out the design to make this the UK Mega Drive, with the gray buttons taking the place of the red buttons. But what I'm noticing here is that they don't really have the Japanese version as a design. Like, you could kind of make it by swapping the red part of the Genesis US version with the Mega Drive UK version 16-bit logo, but that would still leave the 16-bit logo smaller than it should be. And also, it wouldn't have the specific text in the corner that has, like, Mega Drive, like, stylized a little bit more than the UK Mega Drive. So, yeah, I guess Japan really got the short end of the stick here. I would have preferred if they were prints either way. I like that they give you extra pieces so that you could swap them whenever you want instead of having to choose right when you first build it. I love the little cartridge of Sonic 2. That's just an adorable design. Though it seems like they didn't want to include an extra sticker to make this a Mega Drive or a Genesis version of the cart, so they just put Sega there. I do wish that was a print, but then I'm like, well, I guess the real cartridge would have a sticker too, so it's not too big of a deal in that regard. We also have controllers, which was something I was worried about because last year we had a giveaway promo that was this Genesis controller, and I was like, oh, if that was a set that was released, I guess they wouldn't include controllers in the set. But no, they still have controllers. These are a lot smaller than that giveaway promo, and that's one of the downsides of the set is that they don't have the swappability of the controllers. So you're always just stuck with the design that looks more like the Mega Drive design, where it doesn't have the big Sega Genesis logo in the middle. In the giveaway promo controller, you could actually swap out the logo to make it Sega Genesis. And yeah, for last year's giveaway promo, there were 3 options, with the Japanese version getting a dedicated swap out. So yeah, you get 2 of them, and unlike the Sega Genesis controller giveaway promo, these can actually hook up into the system. They have brick-built cords, and you can see how those plug in at the ends as well, which is cute. And then the design of this has a removable top, which you could access this picture of Sonic, which is a brick-built mosaic. That's pretty cute. So yeah, this is much better than I thought it would be. It is pretty dang small, but again, I think this is a cheaper option than some of the other retro consoles on the market. Like, even cheaper than the Game Boy, which is what, $60? Now, this is based off of the first model of the Sega Genesis. I grew up with the second model of the Sega Genesis, but I'm still nostalgic because I love the Sega Genesis as a console. And I find it cool how they have 2 different regions for the boxes as well, where they have a Mega Drive variant and they have a Genesis variant, which even has printing of the shelfware. Like, heck, I just want to display the box on its own. This set is way too up my alley and also such a low cost, there's no way I'm going past this up. And the next one-piece set to make my list is the $30 Dr. Hiriluk's Hideout set. This keeps up the trend of crazy minifigure pieces, fantastic variants, and new characters all together. Just look at Dr. Hiriluk. This is insane. I love the hair popping at the side with the existing Lego top hat design. Another one of those that I love where it's like an existing piece modified with like a little bit of different hair and stuff like that. So that's a really cool minifigure, and as I pointed out earlier, we got a new Tony Chopper that's different from the only other set with Tony Chopper from this wave, and another exclusive character with Dr. Correa, which, yeah, Katie Segal plays her in the show, and it's kind of crazy comparing that to the anime version, which looks even more ridiculous. I love getting like an old lady face print going on there, which is something we don't really get from Lego. Like, they have one that they use a lot. And the Elizabeth Swan hair piece in white, I'm kind of surprised. That's the first time we're ever getting that piece in that color. I thought we did before. Love the torso as well, just more random casual clothes that you can put on minifigures just in your casual city setting. I love how all 3 of the characters have an alternate expression. The build is an interesting hideout that has like an igloo-like exterior. That looks good actually for like just a scenery standpoint for the exterior, but this isn't like fully enclosed, so you switch it to the other side and you'll see the interior going on here. And there's like a little fireplace. I like this chart of different plants and flowers going on there, like mushroom. That's pretty cool, and that could be used outside this setting. It's a sticker, but still alright, whatever. This bed is pretty atypical with like almost tangerine-like design. I mean, it's a build that isn't like super memorable, but there's some nice accessories and things like that, whether it be this 2x2 right here with like a mushroom design. Wish that was not a sticker and rather a print, but yeah, that is a sticker. And then like at the side, you got more of these little like potion type builds, which I like this globe piece right here. Sure, the minifigures are the best part of the set, but this is a $30 play set that I think is worth the build. It's something where I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this could have been $30 10 years ago, unlike so many other sets on this list. I mean, this whole One Piece theme in general gives me vibes of the Lone Ranger theme, which I love that theme so much. Another property that I didn't really care for the actual thing it's based off of, but the LEGO sets transcend that in so many ways. Oh, hell yeah, I'm putting a Bluey set in my top 3. Yeah, this is Grandma's with Bingo and Bluey. I love this set. First off, in a world where every LEGO set feels overpriced, especially for plus sets like this, at $15, this should actually be $10, but still, it's still a very good little buy, okay? I'm not having my wallet go into pain. I don't have to mortgage my house to purchase a set I want, okay? Like half of the sets on this list. This has so much going for it. First off, we have a completely new piece that's almost like the LEGO Ghost piece, but it merges with the design of like the Bluey base headpiece, and you get Bluey and Bingo in their Grannies outfit, which I really like the interpretation of those designs from the show. It's such a crazy idea to use this piece that goes over the torso. I have an affinity for like sculpts of minifigure heads that are used once and then never again, that are like variants of licensed characters. I know that's so specific, but it's happened before, okay? And so that plays into my wants. Then there's this build of a golf cart, which we don't really get golf carts from LEGO, and this rules. Okay, I mean, in reality, it's actually like a play school type of car, but to me, it's a golf cart, okay? And I like the purple at the base. I like this printed piece. I also can't think of a minifigure scale can of beans from LEGO, and here we have this print exclusive to the set. Again, in a world where there's only stickers, there's a print. This is a 4+ set, so I expect it, but heck yeah. As for the rest of the build, I mean, this isn't even the first Bluey set to have a sandcastle, so I don't really care about that. I mean, yeah, it's a good sandcastle build, but whatever. This set is an instant buy day one. I miss great sets that are under $20, dang it. Lava Land is a LEGO city set that blends two things I love from LEGO: power miners and coasters. This is $100 for 1,165 pieces, which is actually a really good price per piece ratio. I love how we have this new build for the Crystal King, which, dang, the original one was so much more detailed, but you know, this is part of a theme park coaster. I also love these getups for new power miners, though this is the lava setting. We're getting Power Miners Year 1 stuff, which was not set in the lava. They should have their thermal suits. You know, we should be seeing silver and everything here. And it's also a little annoying that we don't get a blue helmet. Instead, we get a lime green one. I wish that was more like the original. I wish there were more Power Miners, and I think there's an extra helmet, so you get 2 in this set, but they don't show this minifigure wearing one. I love when LEGO puts out coasters with a dip instead of the ones that are just like a circle or oval, and that's what we have going on here with this little twist. The thing is, this is the same coaster layout as Robot World from 2 years ago, which we also get another set this summer from LEGO Friends, which has the same coaster layout. I get it. In real life, tons of times do coasters have the same layout across the world for different parks and things like that. But I don't think that's what LEGO's trying to capture here. This just comes off of them being cost effective and being like, okay, we'll pay a designer for one design and then just kind of change up the theming around there. Like, come on, these are the 2 biggest coasters we got from LEGO City in the past 3 years. They could have changed it up just even a bit for the layout. That should make this a lot lower on the list, right? Even with my love for Power Miners. However, I didn't get Robot World, so this is a fresh build to me. It doesn't really bother me for my purchase. It's just something that's definitely deserved to be called out. A few more things I really like with this set are the mini arcade game build, the inclusion of the Sunflower Lanyard, which I'm still yet to get, and this little spinny ride, which has a mini Thunder Driller. Before we get to number 1, you know what I gotta do it. Dishonorable mention. There's this Shrek set. You would think a LEGO Shrek set should top this list, or at least be in the top 10. It's something that means a lot to me, and everybody's been wanting a LEGO Shrek Swamp set. I mean, it's reached Idea's 10,000 supporters a billion times just to be denied by LEGO. Nope, we're getting buildable Shrek figures because, yeah, when you think of buildable figures from LEGO, you think of a big statue of Shrek and Donkey. The execution on these is pretty subpar, if you ask me. There's aspects I like I think they get the bodies of the characters down well, but when you get to the heads and faces, especially for Shrek, it just looks off. Also, the fact that this is $130, which this looks like it's something that's $100 at most, and even then would be pushing it. It's not worth the money. It feels like wasted potential, but hey, Shrek 5 comes out next year. Maybe we'll get some good sets then. I do really like the Puss in Boots figure though. And my most wanted LEGO set of summer 2026 is a one-piece set. It's Garp's Marine Battleship. This is a beautiful, 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 beautiful ship. The design here matches what we got with the Going Merry. I would say less of a cartoony design and more of like a serious design that I love. The black sails they have going on are gorgeous. I always prefer when they use a material like this as opposed to them being brick built, even though that can look good like in Lego Creator sets. And the hull going on here is very atypical. Like the front here is interesting and unique. For once, the stud shooter cannons don't look out of place, like those blend in really well. And this seems to have a substantial interior, though we don't have the best pictures of it. I like how you can load from the back right there, and inside you can see there's like a captain's cabin going on and even a kitchen seemingly. I have a soft spot for pirate ships, and I think this is one of the best looking ones that LEGO has put out in years. It's eye-catching and it's filled with so many interesting techniques. The minifigure selection is amazing. This might be my favorite minifigure of summer 2026, Nico Robin, or sorry, Miss All Sunday. I love the hair hat combo that's exclusive to this set. The sculpt there looks fantastic, and this is a pretty popular character that they seemingly do justice. I also like the variants of existing characters, like Nami with glasses, which is a great new face print. That torso print's just some awesome casual clothes. Even the leg printing's great there. Usopp with this purple coloring, which purple's the best color, so I like seeing that on minifigures with new pieces. There's some reprints from the biggest set last year, which I do have, but I love seeing Kobe, who's played by a trans guy actor I really like. Tashigi is a completely new character, and first off, you get a new color for that bowl cut hair piece, which I love getting new colors for hair pieces, and getting a skin tone for this glasses feminine face print is incredibly useful, and it's something we don't see too often, unfortunately. This is also a great price at $180. It was originally said to be $170, but I don't think the price bump really gives me any difference in value. Maybe I'm accustomed to LEGO just overpricing sets, but yeah, I look at this and I'm like, this is totally worth $180. I think the side builds are cute, but they're definitely not anything too substantial. I mean, the little banner right here is a pretty fun design. I'm endlessly impressed by this One Piece line, and this and the Going Merry are the crowning jewels of the theme so far. I'm really excited to see where this theme goes. If they keep up this constant quality of minifigures that are better than like any other LEGO theme except maybe the blind box LEGO minifigures line, and have these amazing builds and pretty good prices for the most part. We left out some sets for a reason this wave. I will try to get my hands on all of these. And you know me, I keep saying, oh, I like this for nostalgia. I like this for nostalgia. I have no nostalgia for One Piece, and these are top in my list. That's a great job, LEGO. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is my longest list video yet, and it took way too long, but I'm glad that it's finally out and about, and I want to hear what are your most wanted sets of summer 2026. Throw me some curveballs, or you could end up agreeing with most of my picks. Subscribe here for more LEGO content like this, list videos where I count down interesting LEGO topics. Seriously, you clicking that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and leaving a comment goes a long way because the YouTube algorithm is pretty hard on quality videos like I think this turned out to be. I'll see you later. Peace out.